Universal Studios producer, director, Mrs. B. Scene 1. Hello, boys and girls around the world. And yes, my name is Mrs. B, and I'm a teacher in the United States. I'm so glad that you're able to join me today for a very special read aloud. But before we begin, I have a hello song just for you. And this is how it goes. Hello, boys and girls around the world. Hello, boys and girls around the world. How are you? How are you? I'm glad you're here to read and learn. We know we'll have some fun today. We love school every day, and so will you. I know, Mrs. B, please stop singing. You have a terrible voice. But Mrs. B so wanted to share a song with all of you. Boys and girls, the book that I've selected for today's read aloud is called King Jack and the Dragon. This book was written by Peter Bentley. That is the author of this book. And then the person that drew the pictures is called an illustrator. And that person's name is Helen Oxenberry. Boys and girls, this is the cover or the front of the book. If we turn this book over, this is called the back of the book. Let's look at the front again and look at the title, King Jack and the Dragon, and look at the illustration. What do you think that this story is going to be about? It's about young boys. This is a baby actually, but there's 3 boys and they have an imagination. And then we have a dragon here. And they're going to try to be courageous and save them from the dragon and save their castle. Boys and girls, before we begin, this King Dragon, the King Jack and the Dragon is a tale, boys and girls. A tale is fiction. A fiction means pretend or make believe. If it's something that could happen in real life, then it would be nonfiction. So this story is going to be fiction. And it's a tale about young boys that we see using their imagination to play together for hours, building forts and fighting in all sorts of, and they're fighting all sorts of different creatures. This is no doubt one of my favorites this year, this book, and I believe there's a couple more in my videos that I have said that these books are right on top of my list. This is one of them, boys and girls. I have a little poem for you that goes with this book, and then at the end, boys and girls, I have a fun activity that you can do with your family at home. Are you ready? Here is a picture I want to show you before Mrs. B starts reading the poem. This is my dragon. The fiery hose. Are you ready, boys and girls? Those fire-breathing dragons are troublesome beasts. They wander through town from the west to the east, setting buildings on fire and burning up cars. When flying away, yelling, "Har-dee, har, har." My dragon's different. He doesn't breathe flames. He hunts down a fire, then carefully aims. He shoots water straight from his mouth and his nose and drowns out the flames like a jet-powered hose. I ride on his back while he squelches the fires. I steer him away from the potholes and wires. When all the flames die, boys and girls, and the smoke blows away, then everyone cheers, and we're done for the day. Hooray, boys and girls. So this is Mrs. B, and I'm riding my good dragon. I'm stopping fires in my town. Boys and girls, are you ready for Mrs. B to read? Boys and girls, you must remember that reading means understanding the author's message, not just calling out a bunch of words. If you cannot answer comprehension questions after reading a page, you have truly not read anything. Are you ready for me to finally begin? Here we go. Boys and girls, when you read, or when Mrs. B reads, are we going to read left to right or right to left? I'm going to read left to right. I'm going to go to the next line and read left to right. Go to the next line and read left to right. And when we start a sentence, the first letter in the first word starts with a big letter, an uppercase letter. Jack, Zak, and Caspar were making a den, a mighty great fort for the King Jack and his men. And here is King Jack. Here is his friend, and this might be his baby brother. A big cardboard box and an old sheet and some sticks, a couple of trash bags, and a few broken bricks. They are building a fort in their backyard. Boys and girls, have you ever built a fort in your backyard or in the house? I have too when I was younger. And boys and girls, have you ever slept in a tent in the backyard? That's sort of like a fort too, but more comfortable. A fine royal throne from a ragged old quilt, a drawbridge, a flag, and the castle was built. Prepare to do battle, brave knights, cried King Jack. Protect your king's castle from dragon attack. So their castle is not their house or houses. It's going to be their fort, boys and girls. That's their castle they have to protect. So here is King Jack holding a sword. Fighting dragons and slaying them, boys and girls. Look at all those dragons. They are really using their imagination. And of course, there is the baby. He can fight little dragons, baby dragons. And this is a tiny dragon that he can handle. The rest of them are too big for the baby. And beasts. So dragons, now we are fighting beasts. Oh, look at the little snake here. The baby is pointing his finger at him. Rah! Look at that. He scared him away with his sword. His magic sword, boys and girls. Can you say Raha? Raha. Good job. We'll scare away all bad guys. And return to their stronghold for fabulous feasts. We'll all sleep the night in the fort, said King Jack. Then a giant came by and went home with Sir Zak has to leave. His daddy came and picked him up, but he doesn't want to go, boys and girls. He wants to spend the night with King Jack and the baby in the fort that they made. So how many people are left now that Zak had to leave? There were 3. Now 1 is gone. How many do you have left? 2. Good job. 2 can fight dragons. No problem, Jack said. Then another giant came and took Caspar to bed. Caspar is the baby. Mommy came and got him. So now it's just going to be King Jack. And that just leaves 1. Wrapped up in his blanket, Jack sat on his throne. All right then, he said, I'll fight dragons alone. Then a strong gust of wind made the trees start to quiver. It's nothing, thought Jack with a hint of a shiver. A mouse scampered over the roof. Skitter scurry. It's nothing, thought Jack. There's no reason to worry. Brrrp, croaked a frog. It's nothing, thought Jack, as he switched on his light in the deepening black. So he must be carrying a flashlight inside of his fort, boys and girls. Words like skitter, scurry, and burp are onomatopoeia words. Boys and girls, those are sound words. And a lot of books that you read will have those sound words. Would you be scared to be alone in that fort? Or would you be brave and courageous? I would be brave and courageous too. "Too-hoo," called an owl. "It's nothing," Jack said as he pulled up his blanket right over his head. Then suddenly brave King Jack's heart skipped a beat. He could hear something coming. A thing with, how many is that? 4 feet. Uh-oh. He wasn't too scared about the owl, but now what is coming with 4 feet, boys and girls? Let's make a prediction, shall we? Prediction is when you guess what's going to happen next in the story based on what we're reading and the pictures to give you a clue. Put your thinking caps on. What do you think is coming with 4 feet? It was outside the drawbridge. King Jack gave a yelp. A dragon! A dragon! Mommy! Dad! Help! He wished he was anything else but a king as the drawbridge fell open and there stood. What do you think will be standing there, boys and girls? I wonder. Oh, I think, the thing, they said. Boys and girls, the thing? Or do you think it could be Mom and Dad coming to get him? Or are those 2 monsters? Let's find out, shall we? We're sorry, said Mommy, if we give you a fright, but it's time for brave kings to come in for the night. And kings who fought dragons all day need a bath, said Dad as he lifted King Jack off the path. And there is Mommy holding King Jack, and there is Daddy, Mommy and Daddy. I know you weren't really a dragon, yawned Jack, as he bravely rode home on a big giant's back. And there is Daddy is giving him a ride on his shoulders. And they're going back home. And there is King Jack, all tucked in his bed. Good night, Jack. The end, boys and girls. What did you think of the story, King Jack and the Dragon? Would you give it a thumbs up if you liked it? Or would you give it a thumbs down if you did not like it? I gave it a thumbs up because Mrs. B told you this is one of her favorites this year. So I really enjoyed reading it to all of you boys and girls. Now I have a fun activity for you to do at home with your family. Parents, grandparents, brothers and sisters. I want you to ask the child some questions and ask your child, where do they think dragons live? What color are dragons? What do dragons eat? And prepare to play with them. What I want is, prior to reading, so I would like you to get a copy of this book either through your local public library or on Amazon or at your local bookstore. And prior to reading King Jack and the Dragon's Place, I want you to place 3 bricks in front of your child and then place or hide 5 bricks around the room. And the bricks that I'm using are these fun bricks. They're called Duplo. D-U-P-L-O. And there they are right there. They're called Duplo bricks. So you're going to place 3 in front of you and then place 5 around the room that you're sitting in. Don't let them see where you're putting it. Then I want you to read King Jack and the Dragon, and once all the way through, allowing your young child to explore the story and to ask you questions then. So do not let them ask too many, though, the first time. The second time, more questions, obviously, but the first time to gain more understanding about dragons. Read again and now build. I want you this time to read the story a second time and then start hunting around the room to find the hidden power bricks, the 5 that you hid around the room. And be ready to battle the dragons, you and your child. Click the bricks together, like I've shown you in the picture, to build the ultimate sword of bravery. And here it is again. So I want you to encourage free time building to personalize the story and ask your little one to build their own dragon also after they do the sword out of the Duplo bricks. And then ask them, does it have a red head? Does it have a yellow head? Does it have a blue head? How tall is it? Is it 2 feet? Is it 5 feet? And does it have a spiked tail or just a regular tail? So this is going to be a fun activity for you guys to do at home. And I have one last treat for you. Somebody is visiting Mrs. B in her office and her mini classroom, boys and girls. And I wonder who it is. It's the good monster. Oh, thank you for visiting, Mrs. B, and all the boys and girls around the world. Would you help me to say goodbye to all of them? You would? Okay. Boys and girls, reading is fundamental. And the good monster and I would like to say goodbye to all of you. And don't stop reading. Bye-bye.